Hi everyone! In this video, I'll show you how to use Just Editor, a simple tool that helps you create and export GITEX XML fully compliant with international indexing standards such as PubMed and EBSCO. First, we'll start by creating an account that will be used to generate our GITEX XML files later. Please open your browser and go to justeditor.com. Then, click Go to Workspace. Since we will create an account, click Create Account. On the Create Account page, you can either fill out this form or sign up using your Google account. Here I'll show you how to fill out the form manually. Just enter your name, email address, password, and repeat your password. You'll see a section called Create Your Own Organization. Basically, this is used to manage your GITEX account quota and also lets you invite your team later if you want to work together. So I'm going to create my own organization. Let's start by filling in the organization name. Once everything is filled out, you can go ahead and click Sign Up. After Sign Up, you'll get verification notice. Check your email. It might be in your inbox or spam folder. And click the verification link. When you click Verify, you will be taken directly to the Just Editor page. Now, you're logged into Just Editor. Make sure you also inside the organization you just created. The next step to create GITEX XML files is to click New. You can also create a folder first or even import an existing XML file to edit it in Just Editor. But since we're creating a new JITEX XML, let's click New Document. Now you're inside the GITEX Editor workspace. As you can see, there are three main sections here: front, body, and back. The front section contains your journal's metadata, like issue year, publish date, revise date, authors and their affiliation, permission, funding, and much more. You can start by filling out this part first. Then in the body section, you'll find the main content of your article. And finally, the back section, just like its name, is for the ending parts of your article, such as acknowledgement, conflict of interest, list of reference, and much more. For the next step, let's complete the front section. Start by entering your journal title. Next, fill in the article title. You can also add subtitle if your article has one. Enter your article's DOI. At this point, we'll click on the metadata section and start fill out. Make sure to enter each detail in the right place and match it with the information from your article. Once you fill out all the metadata correctly, we can move on to adding the article's author. Click on the author section and you will see a contributor tab appear on the site automatically. To add an author, start by typing the author's name. Then click the add icon. Repeat the same step if you want to add more authors. After adding the author's name, click the edit icon to add their details. In the affiliation section, you can enter the author's affiliation. In the author section, you can add extra info like email, phone number, country, and much more. You can also include the author's Scopus ID and orchid here. Now, let's add the author's affiliation. Jet's editor is already integrated with Roar, so you don't need to worry about validation. Just type the institution or university name, click on it, then add the author's department. Once done, press enter on your keyboard. Make sure the affiliation you enter appears below the field to confirm it's added. You can repeat this step if the author has 2 or 3 affiliations. Once all affiliations appear below, click Done. Repeat the same step for your other authors. Once you finish adding all authors' details and affiliation, it's time to select the article corresponding author. Click Choose Corresponding, then check the box next to the correct author. You can repeat the same step if you want to add reviewers or editors for your article too. The next step is to add your article's keyword. Next, fill in your article's abstract. If your abstract has specific section, you can add them by clicking Insert and selecting the part you need, like objective, design, or subject. If the section you want isn't listed, you can create your own under custom by adding a section title. You can also insert other elements like image, quotes, or formula. Just adjust it to match your abstract. Now that we're done with the front section and the article's metadata, the next step before importing the article content into the body is to fill in the reference list. One of GITES Editor's best feature is the automatic citation system, and for it to work properly, we need to add the reference first. You can also fill in other back section if you want, but the reference list is the most important one to complete before importing your article. After finishing the reference list, cross-check everything to make sure there are no empty or duplicate entries. This helps avoid citation errors later. Once that's done, we can start importing the article. Click Import, select your file in docx or doc format, then click Import again and wait for the process to finish. Now the import process is complete. The next step is to review the document to make sure everything looks correct. check if there's anything missing, misplaced, or incorrect. If you want to add things like image, videos, or formula, click Insert. For example, to add an image, click Insert, choose Figure, and select the photo you want to include. You can then add a caption and short description below it. If you pick the wrong image, just click Change Image to replace it. If you want to add a table, click Insert and choose Table. To adjust the table size, just drag the lens. If you want to add more rows or columns, click the Add icon depending on where you want to place them. You can also right-click for more table option. If your article includes interview or statement, you can also add a display quotes. Just click Insert, choose Display Quotes, and adjust it fit your article. Another feature is adding formula. If your article contains a question, you can insert them by click Insert and select TextMate Equation. When you do this, your formula must start and end with a $sign. So type your equation between the $signs, otherwise it won't be recognized as a formula. And finally, you can also add a video to your article. Click Insert and choose Video. For now, GITS Editor only supports YouTube video. So if your article includes a YouTube link, you can add it here. Once you enter the link, click Insert and the video will appear like this. Before exporting your GITS file, please make sure your article is complete and all citations are correct. You can check in this warning section. If there are any citation not linked properly, or if a figure, table, or video missing a label, they'll show up here. Now, let's move back to the back section. Here you can add your article's acknowledgement and other relevant parts. I recommend placing each section in its proper location to avoid errors. For example, finding information should go under metadata, not in the back section, because each element in GTS XML has its own specific tag. Once everything is done and your article has been checked with no errors, it's time to export your GTS file. Just click Export. Here your article will be checked and validated again. If there's anything missing, you'll see it listed here. But if both indicators shows green, that means your article has no issues. Before exporting, choose the reference style that matches your article. For example, if your citation uses the EPA style, it will look like this. And if you choose Vancouver, it looks like this. You might notice earlier that your reference appear like this while editing. That's just the internal format in GTS Editor. The final format will follow the style you select before exporting, so just pick that fits your article. This file name option is mainly for articles that will be submitted to PubMed, since PubMed has its own naming standard. So if you're using GTS Editor for PubMed, you're using the right tool. When you check this option, the file name will automatically include the volume, first spec or UID, and journal abbreviation or ESSN. If you're not submitting for indexing and just want shorter GTS file name, it's totally fine to check it as well. This revision section is also made for PubMed and EBSCO users. If this is your first revision, just enter number 1. For the second revision, enter number 2, and so on. And finally, we have the export option. There are 4 choices here. If you're an OJS user, choose Web Publishing. This one for uploading to your Galley. If you're submitting your GTS file to PubMed, select PMC Standard. If you're indexing with EBSCO, choose EBSCO. And if you don't have a PDF of your article, you can choose the PDF format option. As an example, I'll export this one using the PMC Standard option. Now we got our GTS file. I'll extract it and show you what it looks like. As you can see, everything inside is already structured according to PubMed standard. The file naming is consistent from the zip to the internal files, and all figures have been automatically converted to TIFF. So you don't need to manually convert or insert them, the result is ready to submit. If you're still unsure, you can double check it using the PMC Style Checker. I'll run and check to show you how it works. As you can see, the result shows green, meaning the file is fully valid. So that's how to use GTS Editor to create a GTS XML file for your article. I hope this tutorial helps you get familiar with our tool and makes your work easier. Thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorial.